Greetings and salutations. I am back once again, and it is, as Perry the Platypus states, Sunday, which means part 2 of Wildcard Weekend will go down at about, say, less than 1.5 hours, approximately an hour and 15 minutes to be exact. To catch everybody up, which obviously you should have known already, the Houston Texans, which I was wrong in this pick, advanced to the divisional round by beating the Cincinnati Bengals 19-13. The defensive struggle, really, neither QB got it going. I was very disappointed in the Bengals. The play calling was absolutely ridiculous. A.J. Green wasn't involved until the second half, and Jermaine Gresham, I swear, like, he must have been feeling the way the OU Sooners felt after the Cotton Bowl, because he just was not feeling it. He had at least, 3, 4, maybe 5 drops in this game? It was terrible. The Bengals shot themselves in the foot left and right, left and right. The Houston Texans did just enough to move on. Matt Schaub was not the X factor in this game. I mean, guys like Watt and Arian Foster really were the reasons that they're moving on. But like I said, they're moving on to New England. So Bill Belichick and company gets to tag that ass once again. So, sorry, Texans fans. I do enjoy your team. I like watching them play, but you're going up against a juggernaut in New England. And the stars are aligning for New England-Denver AFC Championship. So, good luck to you, but I just don't see you guys winning it, which is kind of a preview of what I'm going to talk about for the divisional matchups next week. Next, we go to the NFC. And I picked this one. I think a lot of people in America picked this one as well. The Green Bay Packers pretty much dominated the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings came into this game without Christian Ponder. Elbow injury from last week. He didn't start. He was inactive. So Joe Webb got the start. It didn't matter because he was ineffective. That defense made Minnesota's offense ineffective. They held Adrian Peterson to just 99 yards, which is low by his standards, but they shut him down and pretty much dictated the pace of the entire game and won 24-10. Minnesota got a garbage touchdown late. It was pretty much a garbage touchdown because they weren't going to come back. It was basically off of busted coverage. Joe Webb found, I think it was Michael Jenkins by himself, and basically the only reason he got that touchdown, like I said, is because there was a blown assignment. So Green Bay is now heading to San Francisco to take on the 49ers in a rematch of Week 1 this season. Now, having said all that, let's get into the wild card action for today. Today we start off in the AFC yet again, but this time this one is very emotional, very, very powerful. I'm getting kind of choked up talking about it because thanks to the Houston Texans winning, this will be the Baltimore Ravens' very last home game for Ray Lewis. There's no other way that they're going to come back to Baltimore to play again. And the reason why I'm saying this, it's the Colts and Ravens, if you didn't know. The Indianapolis Colts are traveling to Baltimore, which, hey, they used to be the Baltimore Colts, to take on Joe Flacco, Ray Rice, and the aforementioned Ray Lewis and the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, this is pretty emotional because, I mean, we've watched Ray Lewis for 17 seasons. He's been in the league since '96. I mean, I was 13 when he jumped on the scene. And it's amazing, like, really just how much of an incredible talent he truly is. And, it's been a pleasure to watch him play. Even Steelers fans, tip their hats to him. And rival divisional rival fans, they can hate the team, but they love Ray Lewis. I mean, we all do. You know what I mean? And of course, there's going to be some ignorant folks that's going to bring up, the case he had right before the Ravens went to the Super Bowl. But A, he was acquitted. B, he didn't do it. So, having said that, this man is not only a tremendous talent on the field, but man, he can get you hyped with his speeches. He will motivate the hell out of you. I mean, I can listen to one of his speeches and all of a sudden I want to wash dishes, and I hate washing dishes. I mean, he's that good. And it really is, it's really been a pleasure to watch him compete, perform, and really just be him on that field. And of course, his pregame dance, nobody does it better. and go see it if you hadn't seen it yet. Which if you haven't, shame on you. But having said all that, this is his final home game as a Baltimore Raven. And of course, last week the Colts had the emotional thing when they had their head coach Chuck Pagano come back after battling leukemia and roaming the sidelines, and which was the catalyst to them beating the Houston Texans and demoting them from the #1 seed to the #3 seed. But this one's very interesting. Like I said, the Baltimore Ravens, they weren't always the Ravens. Heck, they were the old Cleveland Browns. The Indianapolis Colts were the old Baltimore Colts. So there's this 6 degrees of separation moment here for these two teams. But now the Colts are going in and facing the Ravens without Peyton Manning. Because Peyton Manning was the reason that the Ravens were being sent home early in the postseason whenever they faced each other. But they're coming in with the rookie phenom and the very first QB who was drafted #1 in his rookie season to start an NFL playoff game, in Andrew Luck. If I didn't say that properly, Andrew Luck is the first QB drafted #1 overall to start a playoff game his rookie season. And that Colts team, what a surprise. I had them at best going 6-10. They go, what was it, 11-5? They go 11-5 and make the playoffs. Here they are. So they have this magical season where everybody just thought they were going to regroup and rebuild. No, they came to play. And they've had some dramatic comeback moments, like the 18-point deficit they erased against the Green Bay Packers. The game against the Titans where Vic Ballard pretty much did a submarine backflip into the end zone to score a touchdown. And the game against the Detroit Lions where Andrew Luck throws a game-winning touchdown with 2 seconds left. They're like the cardiac Colts. I think that's what they're called. Excuse me. The cardiac Colts. Thing is, they didn't beat it. They didn't beat the top level talent. Well, except for Green Bay, of course, because when they went to New England, they got undressed. Ask the Texans about that. But they won 11 games, and that's nothing to sneeze at. You don't knock somebody for winning 11 games. Oh, well, they had a weak schedule. Well, yeah, true, but they played who was on their schedule, and of those 16 games, they won 11 of them. So here they are. The Ravens pretty much backed into the playoffs. They got trounced by the Broncos at Baltimore, which the M&T Bank Stadium, I mean, that used to be one of the most intimidating places to play for opposing teams. Pittsburgh beat them at home, and then Denver beat them. But when Denver beat them, enough teams in the AFC lost to where it didn't matter because they won a postseason berth. And then they dominated the New York Giants and won their division. So, I mean, they're schizophrenic. And, of course, near the end of the season, they fired Cam Cameron, which a lot of Ravens fans have been waiting for since last season. They never understood why they brought this man back because, I mean, you have one of the most talented, one of the most dangerous running backs in the NFL in Ray Rice, and you hardly use him. It's just stupid. And so now it's do or die time. And Joe Flacco was the first QB since Otto Graham to have made the postseason in his first 5 seasons. So they make the playoffs with Flacco, but they need Flacco. He wants to be known as a top 5 QB, an elite QB. Well, he needs to step it up. He needs to actually get it going. And in this game, I think he does. For one, it's going to be emotionally charged. This time not for the Colts, but for the Ravens. This is Ray Lewis's final home game. They do not want to be embarrassed. They do not want to embarrass this man in his final home game. They do not want to lose their final home game for Ray Lewis. And I think this is going to be the catalyst to the Ravens beating the Colts. The Colts have had a great season. They've had a magical season. A season that nobody saw coming. But it ends today. And with all that being said, they deserve tremendous credit. They deserve a tremendous amount of praise for what they accomplished under the circumstances this season. So, I'm picking the Ravens. Now, we move over to the NFC. This is the game of the wild card weekend. Saturday, Sunday, doesn't matter. This one is going to be major because you have another pair of rookie QBs going at it the first time since last season when TJ Yates and Andy Dalton went at it. talking Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks traveling to D.C. to take on Robert Griffin III, Alfred Morris, and the Washington Redskins. The Seattle Seahawks, wow. Pete Carroll's got a unit. They went 11-5 this season. The last half of the season, they just dominated teams. The Niners, the Bills, the Jets, the Vikings. They put hands on a lot of people in that second half of the season. They have a stingy defense, #1 defense in points allowed. Funny thing is, the Niners are right behind them. And they have a sick defense. You look at Cam Chancellor, you look at Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Bruce Irvin, Bobby Wagner. They've got a sick unit developing in Seattle. And offensively, you've got Russell Wilson, who nobody saw coming, who nobody was even looking at on their radar, who wasn't even supposed to be the starter this season. Matt Flynn, they brought in, threw big money at him, and got him on the bench. Russell Wilson takes this team and has them winning 11 games. And then on top of that, you've got beast mode. And then Golden Tate will step up. Sidney Rice will step up. Leon Washington with the special teams. So Seattle has a really, really dangerous team. The NFC West is going to be a lot of fun to watch, folks. The Cardinals get a QB and get their offensive line situated. They've got a good defense. The Rams look like they're actually turning the corner. And then, of course, the Niners and Seahawks. The division that everybody used to make fun of and laugh at, that division is turning into one of the most dangerous in the NFL. Now, having said all that, they're going to be facing the Seahawks. They're going to be facing the rookie phenom known as RG3. The Redskins, Dan Snyder, mortgaged the stadium. Basically pawned wedding rings and held fundraisers, bake sales, did all that and gave up all their picks just so they can be the #2 pick to draft this kid. And they were not disappointed. They got their money's worth with him because he not only got them into the postseason, they won their division last week by beating the Dallas Cowboys. They go 10-6 and they win the NFC East with RG3 at the helm. And he goes down and they have Kirk Cousins and he steps up. They have Alfred Morris. They have Leonard Hankerson offensively. Pierre Garçon. Josh Morgan. They have a unit offensively. And, of course, they're road graders. They're #1 in the NFL in overall rushing. They run the ball. Alfred Morris, who I don't understand why anybody isn't talking about him as far as a Rookie of the Year candidate. Of course, the rookie QBs are going to get the love because this is a QB-driven league. But Alfred Morris, 1,600 yards as a rookie. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. I don't even think Peterson hit that mark as a rookie. So, offensively, they're stout. Defensively, they're being led by the heart and soul of that defense right now, London Fletcher. And this ageless wonder, if you watch how he blitzed Tony Romo, you wouldn't think he was nearing 40. He is still a monster in the middle. And then you have D'Angelo Hall and Ryan Kerrigan. You've got guys that will step up. This is going to be a fun matchup. Now, of course, Seattle, they've been undressing people. They've been embarrassing people. But in this situation, I think the Redskins will eke this one out. I think this was going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun shootout. But I think RG3 is going to do just enough to beat the Seahawks. The Seahawks are pretty much invincible at home, but they do have issues on the road. And they haven't won a road playoff game in 3 decades. And I see that trend continuing. I see the Redskins moving on, which means if the Redskins move on, well, it's already been set in stone. Whoever wins this game, they're going to Atlanta. So, RG3 versus Matt Ryan. That's my prediction. So, there you have it, folks. That is Wild Card Weekend. Predicted by me. Analyzed by me. Yeah, me. So, kick back, enjoy, and I'll see you guys next week. Adrian Mason, out.